Awesome. Well, thank you so much for allowing me to be here. And Lynn, thank you so much for being a part of this today. So I won't take up too much of your time today, but I love the opportunity to get to talk about Kettering Health and who we are as an organization and the type of people that we hire and stuff like that. So as you will see, there are some logo changes. So we are changing from Kettering Health Network to Kettering Health. Our presentation has not been updated fully yet. But if you hear me, I'm also learning and training myself to change from, because we talk about the network and we're changing that lingo to just Kettering Health now. So bear with me if you hear me referring to it by a couple of different things, that is why. Okay. So as Kelly had mentioned, my name is Rachel Noble. I'm a talent specialist for Kettering Health. I've worked for the network for 3 total years. And I get the privilege to hire majority clinical based positions. So I hire for nursing and nursing leadership positions across the network. I'm in charge of the nursing supervisor pool. I'm in charge of half of our med surg in our hospitals. I used to have all of med surg, but it just became too much for one person to manage. And then I also am over the oncology service line. So not just nurses, but I get to work with LPNs, some physicists and radiation therapists. So some really interesting positions that I've been able to learn a lot about. So I'll jump right into it. Generally, I would do some question and answer, but since there's only one of us today, usually we hand out prizes for being able to answer those questions and stuff, but hopefully we'll be able to do this in person one day or with a larger group. So just jumping right on into it. Kettering Health, we are a not-for-profit organization based out of the Southwest region of Ohio. We have 9 hospitals, 11 emergency departments, and over 120 outpatient facilities. So our flagship hospital, which is referred to as Kettering Medical Center, is soon will be referred to as Kettering Main Campus, I believe. It opened its doors in 1964 and it houses over 465 beds. So according to the US News and World Report, the facility performs close to the level of nationally ranked hospitals with our particular scoring high in patient safety. So that's one thing we like to make sure that people are aware of. So as you can see here, there's quite a few of our different facilities. I'm not sure if either one of you are familiar as we are located more up in Dayton. However, we do have a couple of other hospitals as well, we have one in Hamilton, Fort Hamilton Hospital, which is another one that is a part of the Kettering Health Network organization. So quite a few different facilities that we have. And really our mission, as it states here, it is to improve the quality of life of the people in the communities we serve through healthcare and of course, education. And our vision is just to make sure that we are recognized as a leader in transforming healthcare and people's healthcare experience. So Lynn or Kelly, feel free if at any time, if you have any questions, feel free to just take yourself off mute and ask those questions. Okay. So we do like to point out different words that we have been able to get. Now, I'm pretty sure I probably need to update this slide as I'm looking. The best places to work, we've actually got that for 2020, and I believe we got it for 2021 already. As you can see, and this is only just a small handful of awards that we've been given, but each year we are one of the top tier hospitals in and around the Dayton area and across the nation. And this next slide is actually going to show you, this is a word cloud. And what this is to receive the Great Workplace Award, so that you saw on the previous slide, it's actually based off of employees' experiences and testimonials. So 87% of our Kettering Health employees who took our survey listed it as a great place to work, which is why we received that award in 2019, 2020, and also 2021. And this green word cloud that you can see up on the slide are direct quotes from our employees. So the bolder the word or the bigger the word, the more often it was used from our employees. So these are direct quotes, like I said, and you can see the frequency of some of these words that are explaining Kettering Health culture. patient, community care, family. One of them that I thought was funny is food is on there, which I think is interesting. I mean, I do feel like our hospitals have pretty good food, but apparently other people agree. So you can just see what our direct employees are actually stating, and some of the things that they are really spotting out about the culture of who Kettering Health is. One interesting fact I also like to name is that over 9% of our employees have been working for Kettering Health for over 20 years. So this just shows commitment and longevity to our network. All right, employee engagement. Employee engagement. So these are actually HR pictures that we found on here, but employee engagement can be a lot of different things. So obviously we do like to talk about building relationships within your department. So I know even our department, you know, we celebrate each other's life events and wins and having babies and getting married and you know, increases or promotions within the network. But also more than that, I do like to specifically talk about nursing and what I know a lot of our managers are doing. So I know that they do want to celebrate wins. I know a manager who brings in cupcakes for having no falls on the unit. You know, having falls on the unit is a huge deal. And so they do cupcakes and they do different awards with each day or each milestone that they hit for not having falls. They also, I know a lot of them have Facebook pages or Instagram pages where they can post things about their units and just really get to know each other. One of the other things I like to point out is that Kettering offers an employee engagement survey. The survey comes out twice a year, and really what it is it's an opportunity for you to just be honest about what you love about Kettering and maybe things that you don't love about it. And then we pull all of this information together. It is anonymous. We do pull all this information together and then present it to your manager. So that way they can look at it and see, like a couple of years ago, one of our things was communication on big information. That was, you know, Kettering Health. We're HR, so it's nice for us to know things before everybody else in the network knows things. That way we're able to answer those calls or those questions that we get and be educated on it. So we had felt like communication wasn't as strong as we would like it to be. So a lot of us had listed that on our engagement survey. My manager really took that to heart and then worked on a transformation process from there of how we can make it better. And it has been night and day. So I know that all of our units do that. You know, we take the engagement survey and then from there, they just look at those survey results to figure out what we can do better to make our employees happier. Also, these pictures, so the one, just to explain, the one on the left is for Heart Health Month. So each month each February, excuse me, HR competes in, or I think different departments outside of HR as well, compete in a picture competition. So we had done the touchdown for the heart. And then the right is Battle of the Businesses, which I believe is going on right now in Dayton. If you guys are not familiar, it's a great organization. It is to raise money for Special Olympics, and a ton of different organizations and businesses around the Dayton area. They all compete. There is swimming and tug of war and beach volleyball and putt-putt golf and cornhole and lots of different games and fun things to celebrate and to compete against. And all of that, like I said, is to raise money for Special Olympics. So that's what that picture on the right is. Now, one of the things I do love to talk about with Kettering is I had mentioned earlier with our mission, we talked about not only providing excellent healthcare, but also providing education as well. So we really believe in supporting our community. We have a health outreach team. They make appearances, at races, fairs, churches, and other health opportunities, in our business centers and across churches. Like I had said, they're teaching people how to educate themselves, even on as simple as washing their hands appropriately or getting your blood pressure checked. We attend high school events as well. So really just offering education outside of, them coming in and being a part of our hospital. We want to make sure that Dayton is really well taken care of and that we're offering that support and education to help enhance people's health. So one of the other things that Kettering Health does is we, as an organization, we sponsor 5 free Christian concerts a year. So these concerts are just a way for us to support faith-based music, but also thank the community for being a part, for allowing us to serve them and being a part of the community. Now, sponsored mission trips. I'm not sure if either one of you grew up doing mission trips or anything. I know that I did going to my local or going to my church, but we have a missions department. It was created specifically to engage in the community, local and globally. Our missions department organizes local outreach and missions trips, ensuring that our employees have every opportunity to use their skills and their talents to just serve our, like I said, our local community. We also, like I said, don't only have local mission trips, we also have global. We do support hospitals and clinics abroad. 10 applicants who apply yearly will receive up to $3,000 worth of medication and equipment in support of their mission trips that they can go on. And we actually have a missions warehouse filled with unused medical supplies that they can donate as well. And I know I got donations from that for my church mission trip a couple of years ago that I knew that they needed some medical supplies they were going on. So I'm not sure if it's something that either one of you are interested in, but it is something that Kettering is really supportive of. We want to make sure that you're having the opportunity. So even if you're not able to be one of those 10 applicants, we want to make sure that we're able to give you some of those unused medical supplies. All right. So I really just wanted to go over general information about Kettering Health and who we are, and some of the highlighted points that I really like to point out, just to show you, we are community-based, and we're really about caring and educating for the Dayton region and in and around Dayton. Of course, we have Fort Hamilton. We even have emergency centers up in Piqua, so north of the Dayton area. So now I'd love to jump in and actually talk more specifically about nursing. So we do hire new grads. We hire new grads directly into our facilities. And as you can see here, all of our specialty areas are listed. We will have you hired into a full-time position to start just because of our residency program. I will go over that here in a little bit about more information about the residency program. And one thing I do like to say is our women's area is very competitive. Everybody seems to want to be in mother baby or maternity, NICU, and our facilities do hire new grads into those positions. However, it just is a little bit more competitive because we want to give opportunities for people who have been within the network to start in this position. So if women's or maybe ICU is something that you're interested in and you were not able to get hired in there directly out of school, I recommend starting in one of our other units and then giving you the opportunity to advance within the network.
So is it hard to get in your organization for a new graduate?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
How easy, how hard is it to get in your organization as a new graduate?
It's not hard at all. So we hire new grads. We actually have specific open positions called new grad positions, and they are specifically because we want to get you guys in the door. We want to offer you the support and the education to continue to grow and advance within Kettering Health. So if Kettering is something that you are interested in, I'd love to have a conversation and get you to the right people. And like I said, if women's is something that you're really interested in, or ICU does take new grads. However, maybe they've just hired 5 new grads and don't have the capacity to take more at this time. If you're not even able to get into your first choice place, we want to make sure that you are getting your foot in the doorway. And then let's say a year after you're in this position, you could transfer to one of those other units.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. So why you start your career with Kettering? So these are just a couple of things that I really feel like are important with us. So one of the things I like to point out is our CNO or leadership presence. So CNO is Chief Nursing Officer. So we have Jen Schull is our VP and CNO over every single hospital that we have. But then each of our hospitals also have an individual CNO that works directly with them. And you will see them weekly. They will come on your units. They will round with you. They will be present and visible in your classes. They will know you. They will recognize your face. I went to the hospital in January to get my vaccine, and I just wore, a sweatshirt and sweatpants because I didn't think I'd even see anybody. And I ran into one of the CNOs at our Kettering main campus and 2 directors. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I am not professionally dressed at all, but I just wasn't expecting to see anybody. But they they know who you are. So it's really great to just be able to have that presence and that dedication from our leadership. They want to be in the classes with you, on the floors with you, helping you continue to advance your skills. Internal promotions, I had mentioned this, but we see transfers throughout the network daily. So most of our leadership positions that I have ever filled have been internal. And I very seldomly, we hire somebody for advancement opportunities externally, because we want to give opportunity for people who already work for the network just to continue to advance their skills. A community focused culture, I have mentioned this time and time again over these last couple of slides that I went over. So being focused on the community is something that is very important. And you'll hear from people who work for Kettering Health that that taking care of our patients in our community is something that's really important for us. And then the faith-based organization. This is not, we are faith-based. It's not something, you don't have to be religious to work for Kettering. It is not something that is going to be pressured on you to be in a specific religion or follow specific guidelines or anything like that. However, I know for me, it was a reason that I started working for Kettering Health, because I grew up a pastor's kid and I grew up in the church, and it was something that was important for me. And they do pray before shifts. If you'd like to be a part of that, like I said, you don't have to be. They do a blessing of the hand ceremony if that's something that you'd be interested in doing. And then of course you will, if you've ever been in any of our hospitals, you will see scriptures throughout our hospitals located. All right, jumping into that residency program that I mentioned earlier. So really the whole goal of this is just to make sure that we are tailoring your education and continuing to advance your skills, you know, in a field that is ever changing. So our residency program is 1 year long. And like you can see here, you will have a mixture between didactic case studies, skills and simulation labs, online classes, webinars. So lots of different opportunities for you to continue to gain knowledge. And depending on where you are hired into, you will have a specific residency track. So I know there's other local hospitals around here. They have one specific residency track for everybody, no matter if you are in med-surg, OR, ICU, or mother baby. Ours is tailored specifically to the area you are going to be working in, or you know, the specialty area of what you're interested in the most. So it will be obviously based on the unit you're hired onto. We will offer specific residency tracks according to that. Okay.
Okay.
So we are also obviously focused on professional development. So we offer classes. I'm trying to even think of ethics, communication, documentation, communicating with physicians. We even offer like the DISC assessment, just so you can understand your strengths compared to other people on your unit. So lots of different classes for that help to developing to your nursing practice. You will also have a dedicated preceptor that will work with you for that whole first year. So this is basically a mentor. They're going to be with you day in and day out. They're going to be there to help answer any questions that you may have. Even if it's 8 or 9 months in and you really have your feet grounded underneath you and you have questions or a hard situation, they are going to be there to support you. And one of my favorite things about our residency, and it's not listed here, but at the very end of your year program, you're going to be given the opportunity to go through the residency class yourself. So that way in the future, you can step up and train new grads if that's something that you'd be interested in doing.
That's good.
Okay. We also have graduations and celebrations. You will go through this program with a specific cohort. And then if you are a part of our residency program, we do ask that you would commit to working for Kettering Health for 18 months. It does cost $4,000 for us to put you through this program. So in lieu of making, you know, that payment to us, we just ask that you would commit to Kettering Health for a year and a half. Oh. Any questions about that?
That's pretty nice program, really.
Yeah, it is. We did develop it. They, our Center for Nursing Excellence, which is our education department. They actually developed it directly from the Board of Nursing and the American Nursing Association. So they researched, and we've had a whole team putting this program together. So they've really fine-tuned it and made it very successful. And everybody that here goes through it really loves the program. It also is a great way for you to get to know other people outside of your unit.
Right.
So you're not only getting to know people on your unit, but also outside the unit who are going through similar life, experience as you. All right. Along with your residency program, which is that year long, you're also going to have nursing orientation. Now, this orientation is going to be individualized. It's going to be specific to your unit that you are on. And basically, it's broken down each week, depending on where you should be in your skills. So you will have individualized conversations with your educator, preceptor, and manager weekly. These conversations are just really going to assess where you're doing. So for example, they're going to ask questions like, how are you doing assessing patient acuity? Or how are you doing talking with those physicians? Or how's your documentation going? Critical thinking questions. So a lot of different just things that they're going to be checking in on weekly. Maybe there's areas that you're advancing in or areas that you're struggling in. So they want to make sure that they're checking in to help give you the support that you need or continue to advance you and give you harder situations or harder patients or bigger patient load or something like that if you're feeling more comfortable. Okay. As you can see, the orientation ranges from 10 to 16 weeks, and that's really just going to be dependent on the level of acuity. I would say a med-surg orientation is typically 10 to 12 weeks, where more of an ICU is going to be more 15 to 16 weeks is what you're going to see.
Do you sometimes have people don't meet your standards or your levels which they should achieve? What do you do with them?
Yeah, very seldomly. So I've been with Kettering for 3 years, and I can less than a handful of people that have gotten in on a bedside unit and realized that they just were not able to do it. So there's a lot of steps that happen when a situation like that happens. It's not just an immediate, oh, you haven't done well, you're done. Kettering would never do that. We want to offer you that support. So they're going to continue to offer additional classes or additional maybe a mentor who's going to work alongside of you with all of your patient load. So they will continue to offer that. Maybe they will look at changing your unit. So let's say you've started at an ICU and then you just realize that you don't feel comfortable doing that, or the level of acuity is higher, or the stress is too much for you to take. They will work to find another unit for you to move to. And if that at the last straw does not work, then they will actually look to moving you into one of our clinic-based positions. So we do have our Kettering Physicians Network, which has over 120 doctor's offices. So let's say that you just realize bedside nursing is not something that you're able to do. We want it to be a mutual agreement. So your CNO, your manager and director will work with you. And if you guys have tried everything, you've moved units, you've done additional coaching, additional training and classes, we will work to see if we can find you a clinic-based position. So like I said, 2 to 3 times I've seen that happen in 3 years, and it was always at the choice of the employee. It was never something that the managers were like, we need to get her out of here. It was more of like the employee does not feel comfortable and they would prefer to be in a clinic-based position.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so professional development opportunities. So we have a fellowship program. This fellowship program is open to everybody. But it basically is just designed to help support emerging nursing leaders. Like I had said, Kettering does offer the advancement to our nursing management, our nursing leadership positions internally. So we want to also offer and make sure that we're giving you the opportunity to move up in your unit, maybe starting as a nurse, to a charge nurse, to a team lead, to a care coordinator, and then up from there. So I see it every single day. I see those promotions happening. So we're also going to offer this fellowship program to give you the tools and the resources that you would need to continue to advance up in those programs and into those positions. We also have certifications. So we have yearly certification programs that you can go through. We also will offer reimbursement. Let's say you are on a chemo oncology unit and you want to be chemo certified. We will offer the classes, or if Kettering does not offer them, we will reimburse you for any of that education that you go through.
Good.
We also have our professional ladder. So this is going to be what we refer to as like our clinical ladder. So the more classes, the more there's a certain amount of things that you have to do. Honestly, I'm not clinical based, so I'm not super educated on it, but you can continue to take classes yearly. And then it also comes with monetary as well. So we will offer that financial support for you when you continue to move up on our professional ladder. And then shared governance, it's basically just a partnership between you and leadership. And the whole point of this, and like I had mentioned earlier with our CNOs and our directors being on the unit and doing roundings weekly, that's a part of the shared governance. You will be able to have face-to-face conversations and continue to educate yourself by working with leadership. All right, a couple more slides for you, and then I'm gonna turn it over and see if you have any questions. So awards and recognitions. So Kettering really wants to make sure that we are offering you know, all of the support, but also making sure that we are making our employees aware that they are special and that they deserve these awards and recognition. The Daisy Award, that is a national award. We do have people win that monthly. We celebrate Nurses Week, and we have our Employee of the Month, which Kettering does highlight. You know, somebody who has gone above and beyond. We also have Network Stars, which something I love Network Stars because that's something that that I can nominate. So if I've seen somebody in my department or somebody that I've worked with Kettering just go above and beyond or help, I can actually nominate my peers and leaders. And as they gain stars, you gain points towards our Kettering swag store, so that you can get some cool Kettering stuff to wear. Okay, one more final slide. So we also have tuition assistance. So once you work for Kettering for 6 total months, you can actually apply for our tuition assistance. We want to make sure that you do have to get your bachelor's within 5 years of employment with us. So we do want to make sure that we're offering you that financial assistance. And as you can see here, Kettering College, because it is a sister school, they do offer a higher incentive. However, you don't have to go there. We are partnered with a whole list of other schools. I do know that Western Gov, we also have like a percentage discount with them as well, and a few other schools. And we would offer $5,000 annually up to $15,000 towards that program. If you did go to Kettering, like I said, the incentive is a little bit higher. And then Kettering does offer a 30% off discount to our employees as well. That's something that they decided to do. But yeah, we just want to offer you that monetary support when completing that degree. Okay, I know I threw a lot of information at you. Do either one of you have any questions for me at this time? Maybe I can clarify for you.
No, you did a really, go ahead, Lynn, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying she did a great job. It was good listening to all that information.
Yeah, thank you. So if you are, Lynn, you graduate soon, correct?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. You know what I'm going to go ahead and do? Kelly, if you wouldn't mind, you have my contact information. I would love to be able to give that to Lynn. If you wouldn't mind just sending that over to her and anybody else that's interested in opportunities. We want to make sure that you're able to get in the door and get some interviews done. And I also recommend going onto our careers page, just type in Kettering Health Careers in the search bar and looking to see if there's anything that you're open to and start applying. And you will need an application with us regardless. So even if you just want to go ahead and create that, also contact me, let me know that you've started applying, and then I'll try to do some push through to some of the managers just to see if we can get you in the
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Exactly where you're located, but we also have like I said, we have our Fort Hamilton facility, which is a little bit closer to Cincinnati. We do have quite a few openings there as well. So we want to give you the opportunity to even do some shadows if that's something that you'd be interested in a couple of our facilities if you're not familiar.
All right. Thank you so much. Sure. That will really help. Thank you.
Absolutely. And feel free, Kelly, keep on sending them my way if anybody has any questions they would like to talk additionally. Okay.
Yep. I will add this to their classroom today, and then also put your contact information in there so that they have it. So you may get inundated. I'm hoping you get inundated.
I would love that. I would love it. I love working with our schools. So thank you guys so much for the time to talk with you today.
Is there a way I can get this lecture? How can I access this lecture for today?
Lynn, I'm going to put it in just a few moments. As soon as it downloads, I'll put it into the into your 201 class, and I'll put an announcement in too, so everybody can see where it is. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
So much. Okay.
Great. Thank you all. We really, really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.